I'm Beverly Kirk with the Global Health Policy Center, here with the Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Margaret Hamburg, and thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
We're talking about substandard and counterfeit medicines, and you were in India recently to look at medicines and other health products there that could possibly make their way here. How does the FDA work overseas?
Well, this is an amazing time in terms of the impact of globalization on the work we do and the products that we regulate. You know, when we were first started over 100 years ago, we didn't have many products coming from other countries. Now we have thousands and thousands of products coming from over 150 countries around the world. And so that means we have to think in new ways and act in new ways and really engage internationally with our counterpart regulators and with the industries that we regulate, so that we can ensure that the products, wherever they're made, that are used by American consumers meet our standards and expectations.
And how difficult is it for the FDA in some of these other countries? I noted that you are just back from India, and there were two companies there where the FDA had to ban the products because of concerns about what was in some of those products. How difficult is it?
Well, it is a huge challenge because it means we have to now have a global presence and a global reach. We actually do have offices now in many parts of the world, including India, and that enables us to have a more on-the-ground presence. But this was not part of the original vision for FDA. We've also had to work with Congress to update our laws and authorities for both medical products and foods so that we can work internationally. And it's a huge additional human and dollar resource challenge for us, but it's absolutely essential. And at the end of the day, it's about more than just FDA having a presence around the world. It's working in closer concert with our counterpart regulatory authorities and with industry in an international, multinational way, because what we're experiencing in terms of the new challenges of globalization, so many other countries are experiencing as well. So we have to work together to really help ensure the integrity of the global supply chain and the quality of products wherever they're made and wherever they're going. We're all in this together.
Your agency commissioned a study by the U.S. Institute of Medicine that looked at the fake or substandard medicines, and the findings were pretty alarming. How big a problem is this, and how bad is it really?
Well, we know that substandard or fake drugs are a huge problem for all of us. For individuals, if you're taking a drug and it isn't what it claims to be, it's not going to help with your medical problem. It may harm you because there may actually be toxins in it. It's going to prevent you from getting a treatment that would be effective. And it could have broader harm as well, because if, for example, with an antimicrobial drug, an anti-malarial, for example, if there's a little bit of the active ingredient but not enough, it won't treat the disease and cure it, but it can cause drug resistance. So it's a huge issue, and one of the things that we're working on through that IOM report and also through funding that we've given to the World Health Organization is to try to create more information about the nature and scope of the problem so we know what we're addressing. But what we have found so far is that the rates of substandard, poor quality, ineffective or actually harmful drugs is very high. It's higher in some parts of the world and with some products than others, but it's a problem that isn't unique to any one country or any one product, and that's why it's so important that we get the information so that we can take action and that we work together to address the problem.
You've spearheaded the creation of a global consortium of regulators. How is that going, and how does it impact the effort to make sure that fake or substandard drugs don't make it to the market?
Well, I appreciate your asking. This is really a big deal. It's creating a whole new global governance model for regulators around the world to come together to address our common responsibilities and our common challenges. And of course, it's going to take a bit of time, but we've made huge progress, and we have the sort of framework for a new organization that we fondly called ICMRA, which is an international coalition of medical product regulatory authorities. And we see it as a mechanism to help us better share information and talk with each other about important issues near and longer term, a way to approach important issues of harmonizing standards and approaches, and ultimately a way of sharing workload as well, because we can't be in every facility around the world that's making products in whole or in part that are coming into the United States, and my counterparts around the world are sharing that same challenge within their own borders.
Where does this fit in the newly launched Global Health Security Agenda that was just launched recently by the White House?
Well, I think it's a really crucial component. It isn't the one that's gotten the most attention. I hope to give it more visibility. That is an initiative that really is looking at the intersection of health and security. It's mainly focused on biological threats, infectious disease threats, and the need to have a system that is global to prevent, detect, and respond to those threats. The ability to have a system that also can assure the safety and quality and effectiveness of products used to prevent, detect, and respond to biological threats to health is absolutely crucial if we're actually going to be able to deliver on what we're committing to and the promise to make the world a safer place.
How do you make other countries see that it's in their vested interest to make sure that whatever leaves their country is up to par? How does the FDA work with them to make sure that they see that it's in their interest, because otherwise suppliers on this end may not buy their products?
Well, first of all, it's a two-way street. Every regulatory authority has a responsibility to assure the safety, quality, and efficacy of the products used by their people. And so all countries recognize that responsibility of the regulator. All companies have a high level of interest in having products that will succeed in the marketplace, that the public trusts and will actually want to purchase. And so there's an alignment of interests in a certain way. The truth is, though, that standards are different and expectations are different, and information is not evenly distributed. And so I think we're in a period of people starting to become aware of some bigger issues. Certainly on my trip to India, both the Indian government and the industry representatives that we talked with sort of had to understand that what this was about was that we were asking companies manufacturing in India to meet the same standards that we ask companies manufacturing in the United States to meet, or in any other country that's going to export their product to the United States. It's nothing special targeting their companies or their regulatory system. Mm-hmm. It's just a fact that the U.S. law, and my responsibility as the commissioner of the FDA, is that products sold and used here have to meet our standards. And I know that in my discussions with counterpart regulatory authorities, we're all grappling with this same responsibility.
All right, Dr. Hamburg, thank you so much.
Thank you.